so the first method we're going to do for coming when called, we're going to use my little able-bodied 4-footer assistant. Stephanie's off screen, so if you hear maniacal laughter, that's her. She didn't want to be on screen today. Wimpy. So the first one is what I affectionately refer to as the Ben-Hur recall, right? Men like to have dominion over the animals. So this is the one that if I was going to be bratty and stylized, I would say they go, Rover, come. You know, that your dog should just go to your feet as if you're some sort of deity. So Annie's going to help. So I'm going to say Annie's name as many times as I need to get her attention. Well, hello, Miss Annie Banani. When she is headed toward me, I'm going to have a treat in my hand to use as a target for where I want her to come into. I'm going to touch her collar and release the treat at the same time. Now, Annie's a little collar sensitive. We might have a hospital stay at some point during this video. So you'll see that I'll be pretty ginger about touching her collar because I want her to have a positive experience. If you have somebody else who can work with you, you can call the dog back and forth. If the dog starts to anticipate the pattern, then if the dog runs away from you, you call the dog again because they need to use their ears, not just follow a pattern. If you're by yourself, then your lucky dog gets 2 cookies, and I'll show you how that works. So first I'm going to say Annie's name as many times as I need to, and then say come when she's headed my way, and I'm pretty sure she's going to come when called anyway. Annie, 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 come. Good girl.
Leave the fingers, Annie Banani.
And then Stephanie called her. Annie, 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 come. Good girl. And then Stephanie called her. If I was by myself and didn't have someone to help, it would go like this. Annie, your mom gave you a big crunchy treat. Annie, Annie, good girl. Thank you. Okay, so see, yeah. Yay. There you go. So I'm going to toss the treat away. Annie, come. Good girl. Ready? What a lucky dog. Annie, come. Good girl. Ready? That way. Annie, come. Good girl. So notice I'm using a pleasant tone of voice. I'm giving her a hand target. This is where the food's going to be, and I want you to come in nice and close. I'm not reaching out to her. My hands are pretty close to my body, and I'm touching her collar with each repetition. If I'm by myself, I toss 1 treat away to get her to go away. I call her and reward her with the second one. And you can actually tire out a dog pretty well on a rainy day this way. Annie, come. Good girl. Okay, number 2. This is the one the dogs like better. So you and I both know if there was a morsel of food on the floor in your house, your dog would find it long before you would. But your dog does not necessarily know this. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait until your dog is distracted, place a treat between our feet, and then this is the hey, look what I found game. And I'll show you how it goes. Annie, look what I found. What a good girl. Now, Stephanie's calling her off to get her to not follow me around. I would just change position. Annie, look what I found. What a good girl. In the case of a dog who's a little bit worried about being handled, or if I was working at having a child teach the dog to come when called, I would get out multiple treats. Annie, look what I found. And then pet the dog and touch the collar while she's gobbling up multiple treats. It buys you a little more time, and it gets the dog to put their attention down low on the floor. So it prevents a dog from jumping and knocking over even a young child. It just makes it a little bit easier. Again, also if it's a dog with collar sensitivity, that's a good answer too. The last and final one I'm going to show you is called Gimme That Collar. Now, it's a little bit tricky. Because if you have a dog with collar sensitivity, you kind of have to fix that first. The way you do that is you gently touch the collar, cookie happens, collar, cookie, and you just classically condition until your dog goes, oh, okay, I'm totally fine with you touching my collar. Stephanie's actually warming Annie up a little bit for that. Hi, Annie. So I'm going to do touch the collar, food, touch the collar, food, touch the collar, food, so that Annie knows, like, I'm not going to be mean to her, and you can see her little tail's going to beat the band. Dogs have much greater peripheral vision than we do. So in this exercise, we're actually going to use our leg to block Annie's field of view so that I can touch her collar in the case of a dog who's collar shy. So I have a cookie. I'm going to say, Annie, give me that collar. I'm going to draw her past my leg so her peripheral vision is knocked out by my leg, and then reward her while my left hand comes in and pays her. So from the side, Annie, give me that collar. And you can see my left hand doesn't move until Annie's past my leg. So she doesn't see that hand coming. Annie, give me that collar. What a good girl. Okay, over time, and I'm not going to do this with Annie because she does have collar sensitivity. It wouldn't be fair to her. I would slowly work up to playing maybe a little tiny bit of roughhousing with the dog with the collar as a reward, so that it's play, right? I have a really good friend whose dog, this is her favorite way to come when called in. The dog will actually leap up and put her collar in Melissa's hand. She'll play tug with her with the dog carrying on like a goofball, and then she tosses her and does it again. She's built a ton of drive for this play. For most dogs, though, you don't necessarily go to that level of drive. So instead, you just want it to be that if it was an emergency, what I always say is if your dog was going to fall off a cliff and you had to grab them, work up to that level of collar grab, that your dog isn't concerned if you have fast hands coming in to grab them. This is particularly important with coated dogs, so dogs with longer coat, because we grab hair and it probably hurts. So that's the 3 main exercises for coming when called. There's also a video on the do's and the don'ts. And practice. Let me know how it goes. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can email me at tina@ithappens.us. You can reply to this video. You can Facebook me, and I'll either make a video or I'll answer you independently via email. Have a great day. Bye.